And now, Drop the Dead Donkey. This episode was first shown in October '91, when US hostage Jesse Turner was released and negotiations began about a Middle East peace conference.
This is the last bus carrying innocent villagers away from the advancing rebels, away from their merciless butchery. Bloody hell! Come on, Jerry! Please! I'll see you back to the hotel!
Where did you find that?
On a tape Damien sent in. He's really gone too far this time.
Isn't he supposed to be going out to Yugoslavia?
No, I've told him he can't go. I've sent him out to do an item on the recession. George Dent. George Dent. Hello? 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 Oh, these bloody phones. Dave, I thought you were going to ring BT.
I did ring BT.
So why hasn't anything been done about it?
Because I keep getting through to the Stratton branch of Spudulike. Couldn't help with the phones. Did suggest we commit an axe murder on Maureen Lipman.
Well, at least the Citizens' Charter will improve all that.
Oh, yes. You still won't be able to get through, but at least the person not picking up the phone will be wearing a name badge.
Yes. Anything else?
Chili bean fillings on special offer.
Thank you, Dave. Now, Europe's big again, more about British sovereignty.
Exactly. We don't want decisions made in Brussels. We can't have some faceless grey bureaucrat running Britain.
We've got some faceless grey bureaucrat running Britain.
True.
Listen, we've had a letter from the Gay Action Group. They say we're ignoring homosexual issues, attack the hypocrisy of gay celebrities, say they're going to out them.
Oh, who'd be interested in that?
Absolutely. It's tasteless, prurient and shabby.
They've sent a list.
Really?
Yes, look, I knew it.
Oh, that's ridiculous. He's not gay.
No?
No, he's into farmyard animals. Got to think about Frisians.
Can we get back to the matter in hand? Anyway, that can't be true. He's married.
Now, I'm not one to complain.
Now, I'm not one to complain, but I do seem to be getting all the depressing items to announce again, while Henry gets all the upbeat stuff.
Yes, there is a perfectly logical explanation for that.
Which is?
You're paranoid.
Paranoid, am I? In the last 2 weeks, I have announced to the nation 3 air crashes, 2 rail crashes, 6 serious fires, 2 motorway pile-ups, 1 involving a dead pony, 3 reports on the ozone layer, 1 oil spill, 12 murders, 9 stabbings, 1 flood, 2 landslides, 3 famines, and a live interview with John Gummer. George, I haven't finished yet. Now, if I am constantly linked with bad news...
How's she going to get any decent parts in Panto?
For the last time, I am not interested in doing panto.
Yes, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are!
George,
Yes.
that Minister Nicholas War's arrived for the interview on the 1 o'clock.
Oh, good.
Pissed as a rat.
Oh, no. Oh, for goodness sake, how bad is he? He's not incapable.
George, he's a government minister.
Would some black coffee do any good?
A bucket and a stomach pump wouldn't do any good.
Oh, wonderful. This would happen on Alex's day off. And where the hell is Damien's report?
While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's high streets, bankruptcies are not only increasing, but becoming more visible. As shops go broke and branches close, there are now no longer... Excuse me, we're trying to film a news report here. Could I ask you in the nicest possible way to piss off? Oh, sod it. Jerry, give us a £5. Come on. Yeah. Now bug off. We're still running. While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, Here in Britain's high streets, bankruptcies are not only increasing, but... Oh, Jesus! Go when it's quiet. While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's high streets, bankruptcies are not only...
Henry, what do you think of this extension of the EC?
Oh, it's a great step forward. Oh, yes, yes. Now all Europeans can join together in one common bond of hating the Swiss. Yes. Bloody leather-shorted yodelers.
I thought that was the Austrians.
A correction, 2 common bonds.
Henry, you fancy a flutter on my how many writs will Maxwell issue by the end of the week sweepstake?
24?
Okay. 24, it's the lowest yet.
Dave?
Yes, I'm fine.
Thank you.
Good morning, Minister. I brought you some coffee.
It's afternoon. So, we can't expect you people to be accurate. You're always lying, huh? I suppose you're going to stitch me up, just like the Bolshevik Broadcasting Corporation stitched Michael Howard, huh?
I'll put it here, shall I?
Have a whiskey.
Not right now, thanks. Shall I get you some water?
Why won't you drink with me, huh? Typical media wimp. You're all pallid pink clones sipping your Nicaraguan mineral water.
Well, you obviously haven't met Henry Davenport.
Oh, yeah. And I have Henry, yeah. He tried to pull my wife once at a party conference. Didn't get anywhere, though, so I won the tenner off him. He's doing me, is he?
Yes. Well, that was the idea, to balance the interview with Robin Cook on the breakfast.
Robin Cook. I've got a lot of respect for Robin.
Yeah?
No, ugly little turd. Talking of turds, is Gus Hedges still the governor around here?
Yeah.
The governor. It is sad, isn't it? Huh? Old England going down the Swanee. Cabbies always used to say governor. Yeah? Piss off, governor, they'd say. Not going there this time of night.
Yes.
Sad.
Listen, I'll take this away, shall I? For a refill? Maybe I'll leave it there.
Bloody easy, see. Jacques Bloody Delors. He's Dutch with it.
Well, I'd hardly call it socialist bias. Well, no, actually, it was only 3 minutes of Gerald Kaufman. Probably just felt like 8.
He's completely smashed. It's not even lunchtime.
Yes, you have to admire that, don't you?
Apparently you chatted up his wife once.
Oh, yes.
Unsuccessfully.
That's what he thinks.
Well, it's very hard to edit Kaufman. He doesn't breathe in between sentences like a normal human being. And we do try to be fair and give a Hello? 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 Oh, these bloody phones! Joy, have you got through to BT yet?
Don't be silly, George. I've only had 19 goes.
George, there is no way he can go on the air. He is completely incoherent. He's going off at wild tangents, blathering on about the EEC.
That's never stopped us interviewing Nicholas Ridley. And he's never had the excuse of being drunk.
Have we got through to Tory Central Office?
We've been trying, George. All the lines in the street have gone haywire. It must be the exchange.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Why did they have to send us war? I mean, what's wrong with Waldegrave?
You want a list?
You've seen this. The number of people in Britain below the poverty line has doubled to 11 million.
Well, I think a lot of them don't want to be helped. My maid has walked out on me just because I asked her to do a little job outside the house.
Sally...
In the end, I had to get a professional company in to drain the cesspit.
George, my main man. I hear there's a blip on your scanner. The government minister a bit the worse for wear.
Yes, and we don't know what to do.
Well, maybe I could lay out the options for you. 1, we send him on pissed. We're accused of deliberately making a Tory minister look ridiculous and we all end up getting crucified. 2, we stop him going on. By the time Tory Central Office talk to him, he's sober, denies he was ever drunk. We're accused of gagging a government spokesman and we all end up getting crucified.
Yes, well, thanks for laying out the options there.
So, guys, what do you suggest?
Well, I wouldn't want to adopt some glib position here, George. And as you know, I never interfere in the editorial side of your operation.
Cheers.
George, you have to make a decision.
How can I make a decision
Yet again, I have been saddled with the latest water scare. It's always me.
Not true. I had the water scare yesterday.
Yes, but I had Monday's water scare and last Wednesday's and both of Fridays.
Down,
Can we
you
stop?
old bastard!
Oh, Nick!
When are you going to get a proper job, eh?
Oh, my God.
Well, I was telling your lackey here about that party conference thing. Whatever happened to that woman you were shafting in your hotel room?
Oh, I believe she's divorcing you, Nick.
Always the whack, eh, Henry? Always the whack. Ah! Delightful Miss Medley. Haven't we? I'm sure we've met, haven't we? Some sort of charity do, wasn't it?
I hope not.
We did. I'm sure we did. It was I don't know, was it Ethiopians or Pakistanis or disabled lesbian donkeys or something. So you ravishing creature. Why aren't you interviewing me?
I don't know. I usually get all the depressing items.
Sir Nicholas.
Yes?
I was just wondering.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking, maybe you might like to postpone temporarily your interview on account of you being so major a political figure. Only, well, as you know, the Evening Bulletin has a much more intellectual class of viewer.
What?
Or tomorrow, perhaps, will be a good time.
Are you suggesting that I don't do this interview now?
No.
No?
Well, yes.
Yeah?
Well, probably.
Probably. So, you have scrotum features cook on the breakfast bulletin and no one to answer it, is that right?
Well, it just does seem you are a little overstretched.
Overstretched? This is another pinko media trick, isn't it? Yeah. Now, listen, I came in here to answer some damn silly questions, and I'm going to answer some damn silly questions. I'm ringing central office about you pillocks.
I think you'll find the phone...
Stop wittering, you prat. Leave it.
No, not you again. Go on. We better go quickly before any more turn up. Well, we can live with the piano. While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's high streets, morons. While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's Great. Bloody great! Oh. While economists...
He's in my office.
Well spotted, George.
He's sitting in my chair.
What is this, the Three Bears? Hell's bells, we're on in 12 minutes. Can we finalize the running order?
Yes, all right. Joy, could you make me a cup of coffee? Now, there's a review today of the decision not to prosecute 4 detectives involved in the Guildford 4 case. Police say they didn't have enough evidence.
That's never stopped them before.
Well, at least all this could lead to some legal reforms.
Oh, it has already. They've reduced the sentence for being Irish from 15 years to 10.
Now, what about this charter for women Major's come up with?
Good God, the man's got more charters than Dan Eyre. Who does he think he is? Mother Major of bloody Calcutta?
Thank you, Henry. I actually think it's rather important that women should have equality in the office place.
Oh, good. Then you can get your own coffee. Now, George, Henry not only says good evening first, but he also gets to say good night last. Is there a reason for this?
Yes, I'm one of Britain's most experienced TV journalists, while you're a lobotomized Tracy who belongs behind a Woolworth checkout. Next!
Do you want me to get my CV so you can read my list of broadcasting
I'll be
credits?
finished in 10 seconds.
You usually are, according to what it says in the labels.
George, there seem to be a few more incoming missiles on your radar screen. Plus all those complaints about bias. Now, we're ice skating on jelly deals over this one. We can't afford any more mistakes.
What's the matter with your bloody phones? I keep getting some wop going on about murdering Maureen Lipman with an axe.
Well, I did try to...
Excellent notion, if you ask me. Bloody phones. I remember a time when you could pick up a phone and... Oh, come to think of it, they didn't work then either. Bloody EC, Jacques, bloody... Where's my glass?
Somebody is going to have to tell that unpleasant little drunk that he's not going to be on the news.
Come along, Chief.
No, I've already told him.
Gus, you know him, don't you?
Well, obviously, I do move in those circles,
Yeah, it's
but
just that when he arrived, you were the first person he mentioned. He called you the governor.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
I'd really appreciate it if you'd have a word.
Oh, very well. I suppose the situation does call for finely honed executive man-management skills.
Security say some of the gay action lot are downstairs.
Oh, you're joking. George, the gay action.
Not now.
Yep.
People bring brown-nosing, bullshitting clothes on!
George, the minister said he'd rather talk to you.
Come on. The lunchtime's on the air in 10 minutes. We've got to concentrate.
Wires.
What?
Wires.
This time. While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's high streets, bankruptcies are not only increasing, but are becoming more visible. As shops go broke and branches close, there are now no longer eager tenants waiting to take over. Increasingly... I just have to move 10 yards down the road. That's all we can do. Piano fell on the floor.
Excuse me, do you know... Did you rip these out of my car?
Well, what if I did?
3 minutes. Look, someone has got to tell him he can't go on.
Well, maybe we could go ahead without him and hope he falls asleep or something and never realizes.
George, you have to tell him.
How? Answer me that.
Well, you're the editor.
It just has to be told. Well, you tell him.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I'll tell him.
No, Henry. Oh, my God.
Nick. Oh, Nick, you're as pissed as a fart. If you do this interview, you'll look like a complete pillock.
Well, no, fair enough. You should have told me earlier.
And one other thing.
Yeah?
If you like scotch,
Oh, I like it.
the decent stuff is in Gus's office there.
Gases.
Join you later.
Right, thank you, Henry.
Good, that's sorted out. What next?
Right, 2 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, look, Henry, this is just in. The areas the Israelis refuse to talk about at the peace talks.
Well, yes, just about everything apart from football, gardening, and the weather.
No, gardening's in there. Sally, this is going in after Cambodia. It's a big protest about the state of Kashmir.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I bought this cashmere cardigan the other day. It's £250, and I mean, Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
We still haven't had Damien's report. He says he's had a few problems, but reckons we can go to him live.
Henry, Sally, all right?
No, you still haven't answered why I can't do the sign-off.
Because you're a brain-dead Barbie doll. Good point, Sally. We'll sort all that out later, shall we?
George, some of the gay protesters have broken into the building.
Oh, no, they're not in the office, are they?
No, they're not in the office.
Good. Jesus!
30 seconds.
George, disaster.
I know.
He's drinking my 30-year-old Glenmorangie.
Gus! Oh, God, where is security?
They've locked themselves in reception, didn't want to get involved.
Look, we're going to do something here.
30 seconds.
What do you suggest?
Violence?
No, I won't sanction the use of brute force.
George, one of them is taking his clothes off.
Drag them out of there now!
Here we are again, then, eh? Just like Bert and the BBC speaking biased bollocks from nation under nation.
Oh, no, 15.
You want a story? I'll give you a story.
If we use the titles as an opening shot, we might be all right.
Minister's marriage is sham.
We could hold the titles for a couple of seconds extra.
Hello, God.
She wants a divorce, the bitch.
Now, you're not strictly a believer.
I'm not going to give her one. I haven't given her one for 20 years.
In fact, you haven't heard from me in some time.
Roll titles. Don't cut to Henry till I say.
But if you were thinking of a little divine intercession, now would be a very good time for me.
We have an arrangement, you see. She drives me to drink, and I drive her to Valium.
Right now.
Go to him in 10. 10 seconds, Henry.
Right now, this very moment.
But I'm not divorcing her, even if the bloody C make it compulsory.
Please.
To Henry.
Good afternoon. There is the 1 o'clock news. The headlines, the House of
I think we got away with it. Wasn't that a foot?
Get out of here!
Hello, I didn't know you were on the demo. I haven't seen you since Madame Jojo's.
I never met the man.
I actually think we got away with it.
Where's War?
Sleeping it off in your office.
Oh, thank God for that.
Well handled, George. Just a word about our hostage coverage. We mentioned Jesse Turner's 4 years and 9 months of captivity.
Well, that was correct, wasn't it?
Yes, but I noticed ITN punched home the drama with 1,730 days. We can't be outdone here, George.
Well, maybe we should say 65,000 hours.
Or 3 million minutes.
Or 6 of Neil Kinnock's speeches.
There's no need to be cynical.
Henry's still on the recession report. We go to Damien in 1 minute.
Well done, everyone. We're nearly there.
George.
Oh, no.
Earlier optimism, hailing the surprisingly small increase in unemployment,
Damien, go to Damien as quick as you can. Go!
that the recession was ending. And now, for more on this, we go live to Damien Day.
While economists and politicians argue whether the recession is bottoming out, here in Britain's high streets, bankruptcies are not only increasing, but are becoming more visible. As shops go broke and branches close, there are now no longer eager young tenants waiting to take over. Increasingly, premises like this one are being boarded up. How many more follow them will chart the course of this recession. This is Damien Day in West London.
20 seconds to go.
Oh, what a nightmare. Are the police here?
Yeah, I caught all the protesters except one.
I think we made it. Thank you, God.
So that's all the news this lunchtime. And
We'll be back at 6 o'clock.
Well done, George. We pulled it off.
Thank you, everybody.
Well cooked, troops.
Gus, I demand an explanation. We had a studio full of drunks and troublemakers. When I'm reading the news, I do not want 15 stones of naked pervert trying to handcuff himself to me.
No, she gets plenty of that at home.
Well done, everybody.
George, what the hell is going on? She did my sign-off.
For goodness sake, Henry.
Tell her she can't do it. I always finish last.
That's not what it says on the wall of the ladies.
I stumbled through them. What a shambles.
No, we did not stumble. We did a magnificent job in bloody difficult circumstances.
Don't you get shirty with me. I know what I've seen here, and I'm now informing the Home Secretary of your lamentable security, bias, and rank amateurism.
Well, I must take issue with you there, Sir Nicholas. Here at Globe Link News, we pride ourselves on our tradition of complete and utter professionalism.
Oi! What the hell was that?
What was what?
That. You must have seen that.
Seen what?
Well, that naked man.
I'm sorry.
That naked man?
Yes, I can swear I saw him. He had his... Could someone send for my car, please?
So, George, anything new on the financial front?
The banks have been criticised for being insensitive and high-handed.
So nothing new on the financial front. Bloody banks, you know, they won't lend me the 2,000 quid I need to get hold of a ticket for the England-Scotland match.
£2,000 for a rugby ticket? Thought you could buy a TV franchise for that. Anyhow, what's the latest on the big peace breakthrough in the Middle East?
The Syrians are buying Scuds as fighting in South Lebanon, and the Israelis are machine gunning a refugee camp. Thank God they're not at war. Now, where am I going to get this money from?
Oh, it's depressing, isn't it? I think we're in for a bloodbath.
Not